Hey guys, I know it's been a while since I posted a video, but I just wanted to share a dream that I had on the 26th of August. I was in my place of work, and I remember giving my 2 week notice to my boss, and um, and I told her I was looking at a calendar and I was pointing to the month of November, and I was showing her that my last week will be the third week of November, which if I was giving a 2 week notice, then I was giving this notice on the first week of November. But I was pointing to the third week of November, and I told her that this will be my last week. But if my new hire needs more time for training, then I am willing to stay until the end of December. And I flipped the calendar and I showed her, I just kind of swiped my finger across the month of December and I said, I'm willing to work until the end of December. And I, I'm not quite sure, but I think um, I also said something about the month of January, like I was gonna stay until January. But that part I'm not clear on that. So so I gave in my notice, well, my 2 week notice, and apparently another one of my staff also gave a notice, but she gave a 1 month notice, and I had already hired a replacement for her, and apparently this girl has been there already a week. She's been training already for a week. And then my two other staff, they found out that I was getting another replacement, and apparently they didn't know that I was the one leaving. So so they were kind of whispering again. They were whispering amongst themselves, um, wondering who I was getting and who was being replaced. And I was hearing all these things, and I was in my cubicle and I was buckling a belt, not on me, but on my desk. I was buckling a belt. I wasn't saying anything. I was very quiet. I didn't tell them that I was the one leaving. So I was buckling a belt. It was brown. It was just laying flat on my desk. And then next thing I know, I had already interviewed a girl. Um, this girl I actually really did interview a few months back. I didn't get her. I got somebody else, but um, in the dream, I called her and asked her to come in, not for an interview, but for some reason I was gonna take her along to, instead of calling her reference, I actually went to her reference. I went to her previous place of employment. So I went there and I found out that it was a military office, um, or at least it was an office that was owned by the military. So I was waiting for this lady. I had the applicant with me. And when the lady came out, I was interviewing her, asking her questions about the applicant. And for some reason, the reference check wasn't going as well. And my applicant was not very happy. She wasn't throwing a fit, but she was just saying that, I don't know, like, well, you guys didn't do this or you guys didn't do this for me. Um, but she wasn't happy. So I asked the lady, if you would rate her as an employee, how would you rate her? And the lady said, well, I would probably rate her as a 7 from 1 to 10. 7 is not that bad, but apparently in the dream it wasn't good enough. So she wasn't happy that she was a 7. And in my dream, um, I don't even know if I got her, if I chose her for the position. But in my dream, she wasn't going to replace me as supervisor. It's just that she was going to replace me work wise, but not as the title of supervisor. So anyway, that was my dream. Um, and I remember the girl's name. Um, what was her name? Her name was Tana, and I googled that, and her name actually means goddess of star or something. I don't know, or fire goddess. I don't remember exactly. I should have googled it again before I made this video, but something about fire, something about goddess. So anyway, that was my dream. I've been asking the Lord what it meant. I even told a couple of people at work, and they have no idea, and they know I dream a lot, but they are clueless about this. It's just interesting though that I was pointing to a calendar of November, and then through December, and I said I was leaving, and every time I get a dream about work, to me that is like the Lord saying it's like a setting for our work here on earth. And I don't know, maybe leaving. I I don't know. I have no idea. The Lord really didn't give me any confirmation on the dream, but I felt like I had to share this dream, that maybe somebody out there might have an interpretation to it. Again, what stood out was the calendar. I was pointing to November and all the way to December, and also with the buckling of the belt. Um, I also thought that was the buckling of the belt actually was just a few seconds, but I just thought that was important enough to mention because the Lord showed me I was buckling a belt, um, while my coworkers were talking and I was remaining silent. Um, Also, what stood out to me was I went to a military office, and apparently, this applicant, that was her previous place of employment, and that was where she worked before, and I was interviewing her to replace me. So that actually just kind of rang siren bells. But anyway, I just wanted to share that with you, and if anybody has any interpretation, please share in the comments. Also, I wanted to mention this morning around 3 in the morning, I actually had, I guess it was a dream, but in the dream, I was hearing the words repeatedly, antiquill, antiquill. I don't know what that means. I don't know even, I don't know how to spell it, but I kept hearing the words antiquill, antiquill, and something about an earthquake. I don't remember, I'm not sure, but I know those words, antiquill, antiquill. And then when I woke up at 3 in the morning, it was like it was still ringing in my head, antiquill, antiquill. So I wrote it down. I didn't even know how to write it because I don't know how to spell it. But I asked the Lord, still don't know. So maybe if you say it really fast, it'll sound like something. But I just thought I'd mention that. That was just this morning at 3. And today is September 1st. So again, if anybody has any interpretation, please comment below, and I would appreciate it. And have a good night. God bless you all.